One day, I was fishing at my local pond and pulled out what appears to be a Warioware Smooth Moves disc. I took it out of the pond, but I had another disc of Warioware Smooth Moves, but I went home and took the disc out of the case and it was blank and said Warioware. But, I turned on the Wii and put the disc in. When I clicked on it, the title was instead, "You Will Pay." I started the game, and I went to Single Player, and entered M. Then, I got into the game and Wario's icon looked angry. I got into Wario's stage, but instead of Wario getting chased by a boulder, it was my Mii getting chased by Wario. It wouldn't let me do anything, but at the game over screen, my Mii got pulled away by Wario while screams echoed out. Then, the game cut to a gray background while my Mii got strapped to a chair with a rope and my mouth got muffled by duct tape. It cut to the map and Mona's icon appeared but looked angry also. I pressed play, but it skipped the intro and went to the microgams, but this time, it let me play, but it started at 13 instead. But every time I completed a microgame, the number went down by 1 and the monettes started getting angry. When I completed Mona's stage, one of the monettes was holding a knife, looking enraged. Then, it cut back to my Mii getting stabbed by the monette that had the knife. It went back to the map afterwards. Cat, Anna, and Young Cricket's icons show up but they look angry. I do Cat and Anna's stage. Every time I complete a microgame, the shells of the turtles crack. When I got to the boss stage, it was instead my Mii getting chased by 3D variants of Cat and Anna. They were chasing me with their katanas. They grabbed me afterwards and dragged me back to the gray room my Mii was in. The microgame ends and Cat and Anna killed a monster with blood flying everywhere. They eat the monster. I went to Young Cricket's stage. The cutscene looked normal until Young Cricket started walking on people's heads. Each one got their head crushed with blood flying everywhere and getting on his shoes. The microgames were scary and weird. The boss stage is stacking skeletons instead of blocks. The console tipped the skeletons on purpose. It did this until I was out of lives. The screen went to my Mii showing a starving Young Cricket. He bites my arm off. The menu screen shows Jimmy T's icon. He looks angry. I click on his icon to show the cutscene where it's normal. I get to the stage, it's normal for the first pass. But when I lose a life, the cats fall into a blender instead. This was pretty terrifying. At the boss stage, it was the same as Cat and Anna's except Mona, Young Cricket, Master Mantis, and Jimmy T were chasing me. They eventually caught up to me and dragged my Mii back to the gray chamber. I tried ejecting the disc but nothing happened. I was forced to play the rest of the game. I went to Ashley's stage. Her icon was really mad. The cutscene and stage was dark and the music was reversed, including the sound effects. The darkness made it hard to see, making me lose easily. And when I lost, Ashley glared at the camera, really mad. It cut to my Mii. Ashley came along and stabbed me in the arm with her staff. Next I did Dribble and Spits till the icon was mad. The cutscene was where Dribble and Spits were fighting. Dribble ended up killing Spits and regretting it. The next day, he went to the cemetery to bury Spits. The microgame started, the music was distorted and reversed. The farther Dribble drove, the darker the screen got. When I reached the boss stage, I couldn't see anything, making me lose repeatedly. The game over screen was the decayed body of Spits. I went to Penny's stage, her icon was mad as well. The cutscene started with Penny doing an experiment on my Mii. The microgames were weird and scary. When I got to the boss stage, it showed my Mii strapped to the table. It told me to use the remote control, which ended up being a laser. It cut off my Mii's legs. It cut to my Mii in the room with no legs. Soon it would die. I went to 9 volts stage. His icon was also mad. In the cutscene, when 9 volts screamed, the scream was so loud it overheated my Wii. I could see smoke coming from it. The microgame started. Instead of Nintendo classics, it was Creepypastas. The intermissions were eerie. At the boss stage, It made me fight all creepypastas at once. I died in the game and I kept losing until it cut to my Mii again. 9-volt hit it with the Wii controller. Then Jimmy P appeared, his icon was mad as well. The microgames were disturbing. Every time I lost a microgame, the dogs would fall down as normal, but blood came out of the hole. At the boss stage, it was every character from the last 4 stages instead of my Mii. They died. That was creepy, especially with all the blood. The boss icon was a deformed creature. I pressed it. It showed the cutscene as normal, but when Wario got turned into tiny Warios, Wario got shredded instead with blood coming out. That was pretty gory. The tiny Warios were replaced with flesh and organs. It was so gory and disturbing I was shocked and couldn't move, making me lose. It skipped to the end with just the backgrounds. Everything was just piles of blood. The end credit music was distorted and reversed. The game closed out on its own after a Wario jump scare. The Wii menu was black and red with a scary version of the menu music. The console shut off with the loud boom. The console exploded. Dead versions of the characters showed